The biggest myth that I've ever heard about a Cancer is that they're crybabies. And that is simply not true. In fact, none of the water signs are crybabies. All of them are capable of a lot of strength. Cancer in particular. Think about the crab. The crab has a hard shell outside of it, right? And then on the inside is very sensitive. So the hard shell is to protect themselves. They are sensitive in the sense that because they're a water sign and because they're ruled by the moon, they feel every emotion. You know what happens on the full moon. Anybody that's ever worked in the field of mental health in a psychiatric hospital knows that on the full moon, a lot of people get admitted into the hospital. There's something about the energy of the moon that's pulling the water that's inside of the humans, because we're made up of mostly water, that creates different emotional reactions with different people. I'm gonna let the scientists ponder on why that is or how that happens, but what I do know for a fact is that it does happen. And Cancer, who's ruled by the moon, is always going to be the most impacted by these kind of emotional shifts that are happening right here in the universe. Cancer is the least subconscious about expressing how they feel. And that's why they're perceived to be crybabies. It's because they're comfortable in their vulnerability. In fact, they're the most comfortable in their vulnerability. Unlike Scorpio, they don't pretend to not feel. And unlike Pisces, they're not running away from their feelings, escaping through other means of avoiding the feelings. Cancer can just sit with it and just let the tears run down their face. That doesn't make them weak. In fact, that makes them strong. Because a lot of you guys are afraid of your own tears. Your own tears, literal tears. You're afraid of your own tears. And you're afraid of other people's tears because you're afraid of your own tears. Who's really weak? And the thing about Cancer is, when they're done crying those tears, they literally just cleanse their palate. So now they're actually stronger than they were before they started crying those tears. So whatever action they're going to take after those tears done come out their face, it's going to be good. You know why? Because they're visionaries. They're a cardinal sign. So they always know what they're doing, even when it looks like they don't. Sometimes it's an act that they put on to appear to be more vulnerable. But those are some really tough people. They can go through hell and back and come out unscathed and tell stories about it. You wouldn't believe the stuff Cancer goes through. The only issue really with Cancer is their fixation on the past. They tend to get very fixated on their memories, just like all water sign in the past, and they get very nostalgic, which sometimes keeps them from being present in the now.